As a result, travel across the boundary was almost entirely halted. Further, the British recruited tens of thousands of local Pashtuns into the British Indian Army and stationed them throughout British India and Southeast Asia. Exposure to India, combined with the ease of travel eastwards into Punjab and the difficulty of travel towards Afghanistan, led many Pashtuns to orient themselves towards the heartlands of British India and away from Kabul. By the time of Indian independence, political opinion was divided into those who supported a homeland for Muslim Indians in the shape of Pakistan, those who supported reunification with Afghanistan, and those who believed that a united India would be a better option. Territorial dispute between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Pakistan inherited the 1893 agreement and the subsequent 1919 Treaty of Rawalpindi after the partition from the British India in 1947. There has never been a formal agreement or ratification between Islamabad and Kabul. Pakistan believes an international convention under UTI Possiditas Juris supports the position that it should not require an agreement to set the boundary. Courts in several countries around the world and the Vienna Convention have universally upheld via UTI Possiditas Juris that binding bilateral agreements are passed down to successor states. Thus, a unilateral declaration by one party has no effect. Boundary changes must be made bilaterally. At the time of independence, the indigenous Pashtun people living on the border with Afghanistan were given only the choice of becoming a part either of India or Pakistan. Further, by the time of the Indian independence movement, prominent Pashtun nationalists such as Abdul Ghaffar Khan and his Khudai Khidmatgar movement advocated a united India, and not a united Afghanistan, highlighting the extent to which infrastructure and instability together began to erode Pashtun's self-identification with Afghanistan. By the time of independence, popular opinion amongst Pashtuns was split amongst the majority who wished to join the newly formed state of Pakistan, and the minority who wished to become a part of the Dominion of India. When the idea of a united India failed, Ghaffar Khan pledged allegiance to Pakistan, and started campaigning for the autonomy of Pakistan's Pashtuns. On July 26, 1949, when Afghan-Pakistan relations were rapidly deteriorating, a Loya Jirga was held in Afghanistan after a military aircraft from the Pakistan Air Force bombed a village on the Afghan side of the Durand Line in response to cross-border fire from the Afghan side. In response, the Afghan government declared that it recognized neither the imaginary Durand nor any similar line, and that all previous Durand Line agreements were void. They also announced that the Durand ethnic division line had been imposed on them under coercion/duress and was a diktat. This had no tangible effect as there has never been a move in the United Nations to enforce such a declaration due to both nations being constantly busy in wars with their other neighbors. See Indo-Pakistani Wars and Civil War in Afghanistan. In 1950, the House of Commons of the United Kingdom held its view on the Afghan-Pakistan dispute over the Durand Line by stating, "His Majesty's government in the United Kingdom has seen with regret the disagreements between the governments of Pakistan and Afghanistan about the status of the territories on the northwest frontier. It is His Majesty's government's view that Pakistan is in international law the inheritor of the rights and duties of the old government of India and of His Majesty's government in the United Kingdom in these territories, and that the Durand Line is the international frontier." Philip Noel Baker, June 30, 1950. At the 1956 SEATO, Southeast Asia Treaty Organization, Ministerial Council meeting held at Karachi, capital of Pakistan at the time, it was stated, "The members of the Council declared that their governments recognize that the sovereignty of Pakistan extends up to the Durand Line, the international boundary between Pakistan and Afghanistan, and it was consequently affirmed that the treaty area referred to in Articles 4 and 8 of the treaty includes the area up to that line." SEATO, March 8, 1956. In 1976, the then President of Afghanistan, Sardar Muhammad Daud Khan recognized Durand Line as international border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. He made this declaration while he was on an official visit to Islamabad, Pakistan. Geography. The border is south of the Hindu Kush, while its eastern end by China is in the Karakoram Range. These are regions of extreme high elevation, hence much of the Durand Line is bounded by mountains. The Spingar, White Mountains, range is roughly in the middle of the line. The western part of the line